Let's go ahead and get started, and let's get started seated in our chair. So if you're not in your chair yet, or I know some of you are sitting on a couch, that works fine. Let's just go ahead and find a seat. Good. And you can either just be seated on the chair again. If you wanted a little bit extra support underneath the bum, right, you could have the blanket or the pillow underneath the seat. Or if you wanted a little bit more support to sit up a little bit taller, you could even have that pillow back behind you. I'm just going to remove mine and I'll grab it later. I'm going to just adjust this angle a little bit so you can see me a little bit better. Awesome. Cool. So every class, I like to introduce a new type of breathing. And those of you who were here with me last or 2 months ago, you may remember this breath, but I want to introduce you to what's called the buzzing breath or the bee breath. So just like, you know, the insect, the bumblebee, it's kind of a buzzing sound. And all you do is you breathe in regularly through the nose. And as you breathe out as if you're kind of humming or buzzing. So I'll show you a couple different ways to do it, and then we'll do it together, okay? So we breathe in through the nose, and then we hum out. And you're all muted, so don't feel shy, right? Make a little bit of noise. So you can either do that with the lips together or the lips open. And you can do it that way, or another way if you want to add it a little bit more buzzing would be like this. I'll show you. So breathe in, and then that one kind of having like the vibrating lips, right? Okay, so let's try a couple. Just allow the hands to rest here. Sit up nice and tall, right? Nice open chest. Full breath in. Hum out. Good, right? It's kind of fun. Yeah, I see some of you smiling, laughing. Good. Let's do it again. This time, let's vibrate the lips. Okay, so big breath in. Fun, right? Okay, so you can either stick with the vibrating lips or you can do more of a hum. But now let's try it with our hands on our chest. So go ahead and place your hands on top of one another on your heart. Let's do that a couple more times. So big breath in. And maybe you felt a little bit of vibration in the chest underneath the hands. Yeah, right? Yeah. And then let's try it with the hands on top of the head. So just gently place the hands on top of the head. Good. Yeah, exactly. The hands can rest on the head. Full breath in. And maybe you felt a little bit of vibration on top of the head or on the hands. Okay, let's try one last area. And you can kind of place the hands either over the ears or kind of underneath the eyes, whatever feels more comfortable to you. But let's try that again. So full breath in. Maybe you felt that a little bit more in the ears or on the face, right? And then yogi's choice. So let's do that one more time. You choose. Hands can be here, right, on the legs. Hands can be on the heart. Hands can be on the head, or they can be somewhere on the face. So find the place that you liked best when we did it. Let's do that one more time. Yeah, I like this one too. It feels nice to have the hands over the heart. So together, let's take a really big breath in. So this is our bumblebee breath, or our buzzing breath. And the idea behind this breath is that it can have some calming qualities. So this is a type of breath that you can come back to at any time when maybe you feel a little bit anxious or nervous or overwhelmed. Okay. So let's just rest the hands on the legs here. And you can just breathe in and out through the nose. If you want to add on that sound of your buzzing breath, you're welcome to do that. But let's just add on a little bit of movement. So I want you to keep your head facing straight towards me, and we're just going to warm up up through the eyeballs. So see if you can turn the eyeballs over towards the right, but keeping the head facing forward. So just gazing over to the right, kind of finding that periphery vision, and then gaze forward in front of you. Yeah, and then look over to the left as far as you can and just kind of see what's over there. Yeah, and then gaze forward. And now keep the head straight, but gaze up towards the sky, up towards the ceiling. See what's up there. Gaze forward. And then keep your head as it is and gaze down. So down towards the feet, the floor. Yeah, good. Now gaze straight in front of you. Let's do that one more time. So turn the eyes over to the right and just sort of see what you see. And then come back through center. And look over to the left. So we're just working the muscles in the eyes, and then gaze back through center. Now look up, keeping the head still, more or less still. And now gaze down. Just see what you see down there. Good. Now gaze at center, and now let's turn our head and look to the right. So you might feel just a gentle stretch on the left side of the neck, and you might be able to see a little bit more, right, as you're able to move the head and the neck. And then turn to gaze forward towards me. Yeah, and then just look over to the left and kind of see what you see over here, kind of getting a sense for your physical surroundings, and then gaze forward. Yeah, and then let's lift the gaze up. So chin can come up, right? You might feel a gentle stretch in the front of the throat. And then gaze forward. And let's just gaze down towards the floor and just sort of sense into our surroundings, and then gaze back through center. Good, let's do that one more time. So turn the head over to the right, and then through center. And then turn the head over to the left. Really nice work, everybody. And then come back through center. Lift the gaze up towards the sky. Last time, just gaze upwards. Turn back through center. And slowly lower the gaze down towards the floor. Just see what you see. Good. Now lift the chin up, find a neutral neck. Yeah, awesome. Release the hands down by your side, and let's do some shoulder circles. So moving the shoulders around. Right? We're trying to warm up the body just slowly, right? So we warmed up through the eyeballs, the neck, and now we're spending a little bit more time on the shoulders. Yeah, if you've only been going in one direction, now see if you can switch the directions. Yeah, and the elbows can be involved, the hands can be involved, right? There's no real right or wrong, so just allow your body to move. Yeah, I love seeing all of you. We all move a little bit differently, right? And then go ahead and allow the hands to rest down. Good. And then bring this right hand across your chest. The left hand will be kind of by the elbow, right? And we just kind of pull the arm across the body. You might feel this kind of at the top of the shoulder a little bit. Take a big breath in. And a buzzing breath out. And then all we're going to do is switch sides. So left arm across the body. Yeah, right arm supporting. Big breath in. Buzzing breath out. Good. Release the arms down. And now let's add a little bit more movement. So as we inhale, let's stretch the arms forward and up and really reach up. And as you exhale, turn the palms down and slowly lower them down. And you can do this breathing silently, or let's add on our Bumblebee Breath. So inhale, arms up. Bumblebee Breath. Good. Again, inhale, reach up. And exhale. One more time, making some noise if you like. Full breath in. Good. Let's add on a little bit. So inhale, reach your arms up. And then this time, as you exhale, bring your right hand down to the seat of your chair, maybe the leg of your chair, and reach the left arm up and over. So we're finding a side body stretch, right? You might feel this from this left hip all the way through that left arm. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. And then press the feet into the floor. Inhale, arms come up, really reach them up. Exhale, left hand down to the seat of the chair, the leg of the chair, and that right arm up and over. Yeah, full breath in. Full breath out. Good work, everybody. Inhale, arms come up once again. And as you exhale, twist to the right. So bring your left hand towards that right knee and the right hand back behind you. So either to the seat of the chair, maybe to the back of your chair. And see if you can sit up a little bit taller, right? As if the crown of the head can reach up higher. And then maybe as you exhale, you begin to gaze back behind you and just kind of see what's back behind you. Sort of getting a sense of your physical surroundings here. Getting a little bit curious. Yeah, really nice. And then let's turn back to face towards me. Reach the arms right back on up. Take a big breath in. Beautiful. Exhale, twist other side. So right hand to your left leg and your left hand either to the seat of the chair or the back of the chair. And again, I want you to think about sitting up a little bit taller. And then maybe gazing back behind you, stretching out the neck, kind of getting a sense for what's behind you here. Take one more full breath in. One more full breath out. Really nice, everybody. Let's unwind out of our twist. So turn to face towards me and let's open up the arms wide this time. Yeah, and let's bend our elbows. Elbows are lifted up to shoulder height. Yeah, so this is our open book position, right? Take a big breath in here. And exhale, let's close our book. So bringing the elbows, the palms together best you can. Yeah, so inhale, we open up. Lift the elbows up to shoulder height. Yeah, and exhale, close. Good, let's add our buzzing breath. So inhale, open. Bumblebee breath. Good. Inhale, open. Buzzing breath. One more. Inhale, open. Really nice work, everybody. Exhale, humming breath. Good. Nice job. Release the hands down. Let's find some gentle fists here. So nice and soft fists. And then just begin to circle them. Nice and easy, slow or fast, big or small, doesn't matter. Yeah, some of you going fast, some of you going slow. There's no right or wrong, good or bad. We're just kind of sensing into what would support our body best here. And if you've only been going in one direction, now is that invitation to switch it up. Yeah, awesome. And then let's find stillness and have sort of the fingertips facing out towards me. So the thumbs are facing inwards. And then can you turn the thumbs to face in towards one another? This one's a little bit tricky. And then the knuckles go up and then punch them out. So I'll get a little bit closer towards the screen. So can you bring the thumbs in towards one another? And then back through center, and then the pinkies out away from one another. Yeah, this one's really subtle. So come back through center, thumbs in. Back through center and then pinkies out. Good. Okay. We can let go of that. I'm going to take a seat in my chair like we did last week. Right hand out as if we're saying stop, stop, right? Yeah. Left hand will come and gently pull the fingertips back towards the face. Really gentle, right? You might feel this in the hand, in the forearm, in the wrist. Yeah, good. And then gently release. Lower the fingertips down. And then again, this left hand will gently hug the fingertips in towards the chest. Nice and gentle. If you can, that right elbow straight more or less. Good. And let's do that on the other side. So we say stop with the left hand, stop. Good. And then take that right hand and gently pull the fingertips back towards your chest. Good. And then allow those fingertips to droop down towards the floor and gently hug them in towards the chest. Good. Yeah, so we're just stretching out through the forearms and through the wrists. Really nice work. Okay. From here, all I want you to do is give yourself a little hug. So reach for opposite shoulders. And if it feels good, maybe add a little twist of the torso. And if the twist doesn't feel good, just be still here. Yeah. And then from here, see if you can let this right arm be long. And with this left hand starting on the shoulder, can you just give yourself a gentle massage? So just gentle squeezes down the arm, nice and gentle, right? So just sending a little bit of love and care to our body, thanking it for all that it does for us, right? Yeah, just gentle massage. And then as you're ready, so take your time. We'll just do this on the other side. So the left arm is more or less straight. We can start up at the shoulder, maybe where the neck meets the shoulder, and then just gentle squeezes down the arm, right? No big deal. Yeah, just sending him a little bit of love. Awesome. Okay. How you all feeling? Does our upper body, shoulders feel kind of loosey-goosey? We feel like we have maybe a little bit more space. Cool. All right. Now let's focus on the feet a little bit. So I'm going to turn my camera down a little bit, so that you can see my feet. Okay. So from here, let's come up really high up on the toes. So I'm hovering my heels, right? I'm just the toes are down. And then lower the heels and lift the toes up. And we just go back and forth. So this can be done 1 foot at a time, or if you feel like you're able to, both feet at the same time. But we're just kind of rocking forward and backward, right? So lifting the heels and then lifting the toes, right? You might feel this in the front of the legs or back behind the legs, right? And then place the feet down and let's do the opposite. So roll to the outer edges of the feet and the inner arches of the feet, so the knees might come together, and then just kind of go back between those, right? Outer arches, inner arches. Just trying to see if we can stretch out the soles of the feet, the tops of the feet, maybe even the toes. Yeah, cool. And then go ahead and plant your feet down and scoop this right knee up with your hands. Best you can. And give me some ankle rolls here. So a couple of times in each direction, clockwise and counterclockwise. Good. As you do this, can you sit up nice and tall? Can you lift the chest? Good. Nice adjustment. And then let's point the toes like a dancer, right? So point the toes down towards the floor. And as you exhale, can you flex the feet? Can you hug the toes in towards the knee? Inhale to point the toes down. Good. Exhale, flex them up towards the knee. One more time. Inhale, point. And exhale, flex. Good. Gently lower that foot back down. Let's try this on the other side. So scoop that knee up. Yep. Chest is lifted, long spine. And then give me some ankle circles. Right. Just sort of awakening up through the foot, the ankle, all the way up the leg. And if you've only been doing one direction, now is that invitation to try and do it the other direction as well. Mine are going pop, 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 pop. Maybe yours are too. And then let's point the toes. So point them down towards the floor. And as you exhale, flex the toes up towards the knee. 2 more like that. Inhale to point the toes. Keep lifting up through the chest. Exhale, flex the foot. 1 more time. Inhale to point. And exhale to flex. Good. Gently lower that left foot down. Beautiful. Okay, from here, can you widen the feet out? Widen the feet out. So heels are in, toes are out. My name is getting in the way, so I'm going to move it just a little bit. Okay, and then open book arms. Yeah, elbows up to shoulder height. So it's a little bit of shoulder work. This pose has 2 names. It's called goddess pose or horse pose. Like, nay, so you can pick whichever one you like better, goddess or horse, right? Stick with this, breathe and Stick with this and breathe out. Good. Now, can you reach your arms high overhead? Yep. And can you bring the feet in towards one another? Now this is chair pose, supported with the chair, right? Because we're sitting in a chair doing chair pose, right? Now, can you begin to shift the weight forward, 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 and come to standing? Ooh, let's shake it out. Let's shake it out. Let me adjust my camera a little bit. I feel like it's all over the place today. All right, how you all feeling? Let's do a thumb check-in. How we doing? We're okay? Cool. All right. So now we're in our balancing section. So come to standing if you haven't already. And same thing as always, right? But I always like to repeat myself. So go ahead and move your chair. Have an adult help you move your chair. And then I'm going to turn the face towards you. So I'm only going to have one hand on my chair. But if balance is a little bit tricky or you like added support, right, I'm going to recommend that you face the back of your chair and have both hands on the back of your chair, right? If you don't have a back of a chair, just a wall or another piece of furniture will work, right, if you're not working with a chair. But just because I want to be able to face you, I'm going to have one hand on my chair, okay? From here, let's do the same thing that we did seated. Let's start with one foot at a time. So come up high up on the right heel so that we're just down on the toes. The heel is lifted. And then lower that right heel down. And let's switch sides. So come up high up on the left toes and then lower the left heel down. And let's just keep going. So hover the right heel and lower it down. And then hover the left heel and lower it down. Good job. Let's keep doing this. Lift the right heel and lower, and lift the left heel and lower. Good. Okay, so now keep the heel down, but can you lift the toes, right, in the front of the foot? So keeping that right heel down, lifting everything else up, and then lower the right foot. And switch sides. So keep the left heel down, lift the left toes. You might feel this in the back of like the calf, right, a little bit, and then lower the left foot down. Two more like that. So lift the right toes and lower. Lift the left toes and lower. One more time like that. Lift the right toes best you can, lower, and then lift the left toes and lower. Okay, good. From here, keep the feet down, right? The heels down, the toes down. And let's give our quads, right, the top of our legs a little tap, tap. See if they can begin to engage a little bit, right? And then maybe the butt, same thing, right? Can we squeeze the butt a little bit? And then belly, right? Can we tap into the strength of the belly? Good. And then release the hands down, right? Stand up nice and tall. And then inhale, reach one or both arms up overhead. So you get to choose, right? One or both. If you like the extra balance, just do one hand. Exhale, slowly lower the hands on down. Good. Can we add our buzzing breath? So inhale, one or both arms up. Buzzing breath out. Good. Let's keep doing that. Inhale, one or both arms up. Buzzing breath, hands down. Two more. Inhale, reach up. Good. Inhale, arms up. Now let's add on as you exhale. Right hand down, left arm up and over, just like we did seated, but now we're standing. Yeah, beautiful. Now root down to your feet, lift the arms up. Inhale. This is mountain pose. So think strong and sturdy and big. And as you exhale, up and over, other side. Standing side body stretch. Yeah, beautiful. And then inhale, arms come up. And as you exhale, find your open book arms. So bend the elbows, squeeze the shoulder blades. Good. Two more. Inhale, mountain pose, arms up. Exhale, back bend. Find those open book arms. Good. One more time. Inhale, reach up, 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 mountain. And exhale, open book arms. Beautiful. Release one or both hands to your chair. Let's check out our balance, okay? So from here, since my left leg is closest to the chair, I'm going to shift the weight to my left leg, okay? From here, my right hand can be down, it can be on my hip, it can be out. It's just really whatever feels best to you. And then I'm going to come up high up on those right toes, okay? And then I'm going to see if I can hover the foot off the floor. It's called standing knee raise. Okay, so finding a little bit of balance. Can we open up the knee? Yeah, and find tree pose. So tree pose, the toes can come back down to the floor, or maybe they find the inside edge of the ankle or the calf. Good. If you're feeling steady, you might lift one or both hands off the chair. And then like a tree, right? We don't always have to be still. Maybe there's kind of like a windstorm here, and we see if we can keep our balance, right? If we fall out of it, we just pick ourselves back up and try again. Yeah, I love seeing your flowing trees. Yeah, so good. Let's be here. One more inhale. One more exhale, feet down, shake it out, right? Shake it out. Good. Yeah, get any wiggles out that you need to. And then I'm going to switch my chair to the other side. So you might do that as well, or have someone else help you do that. But let's just switch sides, okay? So now my right hand will be touching the back of the chair for a little bit extra support. And my right leg will be my standing leg this time, right? Because it's closest to the chair, okay? From here, I'm going to stand up nice and tall. So again, let's check in with the quads, the butt, the belly, right? Can we stand up nice and tall? Good. One or both hands to our support. And then this left hand can be down, can be at the hip, it can be out wide, okay? So you choose what feels best. Let's come up high up on the left toes. So hover the left heel, and then can you lift the left foot up? Standing knee raise. And then can you open the knee and find tree pose? So either stay here for tree pose, maybe drop the toes down, or maybe bring the foot towards the inseam of the ankle. Yeah, and then again, we don't have to be super still. Maybe it's a little bit of a flowy day, right? Maybe there's some wind, right? If you're feeling like your balance is good, try and lift one or both hands off your chair. Yeah, awesome. And if you fall out of it, that's okay, right? This is just an opportunity to practice. So make your way back into it and feel out your balance again. Yeah, wherever you are, be there. One more inhale. One more exhale. Good job. Shake it out. Both feet down. Yeah, cool. Everyone's balance is looking really awesome. How are you all feeling about that? You feel okay? Feeling strong? Yeah, you were looking really good. Yeah, Michael's giving me the strong. I love that. Okay, let's remove our chair for right now. We'll come back to it later. But let's go ahead and put our chair somewhere out of the way and make our way onto our yoga mat. Okay, and if you don't have a yoga mat, just a soft place where you can move close to the floor. Now would also be a really good time to get some water, right? Especially if you're thirsty. Because we're about halfway through class, so maybe you work up a little bit of heat or a little bit sweaty. Right, but once you're ready, let's come on to our yoga mats. And normally we start out in tabletop pose on the hands. And for today, I'd like us to try tabletop on the elbows. So it's the exact same shape, except for instead of being on the hands, we're just on the elbows, right? So you'll notice that my elbows are more or less under my shoulders, maybe even a little bit forward. And then my knees are more or less under my hips, right? So I still want you to think of like a table, right? A coffee table, a school table, right? That's kind of what we want our back to look like. And then as you inhale, find cow pose. So drop the belly, lift the tailbone, so lift the butt and then lift the chin. And you might not have as much mobility or movement, but that's okay. And as you exhale, cat pose, so Halloween cat. I want you to arch the spine up, drop the tailbone down and hug the chin in. Couple more. So inhale for cow, drop your belly, lift your gaze, lift your butt. Exhale, cat, Halloween cat. So arch the spine up as if you're really scared. Couple more. Inhale, cow, drop belly, lift your chin, lift your butt. Exhale, cat pose, arching the spine. Let's do that one more time. Inhale for cow, belly lowers, chin lifts, tailbone lifts. Exhale, cat. Think Halloween cat. Good, and then come back to your tabletop pose, and all I want you to do is keep your elbows more or less where they are, but kind of slither the body down onto the floor. So from here, you can take a look at me, right? You'll notice that my pelvis is on the floor, my legs are on the floor, my elbows are still under my shoulders. This is called Sphinx Pose, right? So like the Egyptian Sphinx, maybe you've studied that in school or seen it online, right? So let's see if we can gaze forward. If it feels okay on your neck, you might even gaze up towards the sky or up towards the ceiling a little bit. Right, feeling really open through the front of the chest and the throat. One more full breath in. One more full breath out. And then just gaze forward in front of you. So we have more of a neutral neck, right? The neck is in line with the rest of the spine. And from here, can you bend your right knee and really hug your right heel in towards your butt, right? Imagine, right, you're trying, like maybe you had an orange behind the knee and you're trying to make yourself some orange juice in a really funny way, right? Of really hugging that heel in. And then just straighten that right leg back. Good. And try it on the other side. So imagine you have that orange behind the knee and you're trying to squeeze out all of the liquid and then release that left leg long. Let's do that a couple more times. So really squeeze, 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 heel to butt. Good. And then gently release. I can see some of your feet move. That's great. And then let's do it on the left side. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. You might feel this behind the leg a little bit and then straighten it out. One more time each side. Bend the right knee, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze it in as hard as you can, and then gently release. And then last time, bend that left leg, squeeze, 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 and gently release. Okay. From here, I'd like you to make a pillow with the hand. So place one hand on top of the other and lower your forehead down. So the elbows might come out a little bit. This is called Crocodile Pose. Right, so this pose we've been in before. And if it feels good, you might rock your forehead from side to side. Just inviting in a little bit more relaxation into the brows, into the forehead, into the mind. Allowing the legs and the belly just to rest fully on the floor. Stay here, one more full breath in. And one more full breath out. And from here, all we're going to do is move our hands so that our hands are by our shoulders and the forehead can just rest down towards the floor. Keeping the hands by the shoulders as you inhale, find Cobra Pose. So lifting the heart off the floor. A cobra is a type of snake. So imagine you're slithering up. And as you exhale, just slither right back down. We'll do this a couple more times. So inhale, slither up for Cobra Pose, lifting the chest, and exhale, slowly lower down. Couple more times. Inhale, lift up, and feel as if you could really squeeze into your butt, right? So we're engaging through the legs, and as we exhale, we slither right back down. Let's do that 2 more times, and then that's it, okay? So inhale, slither up, and really squeeze the legs together. And exhale, slither down towards the floor. One last one. Inhale, slither up. And as you exhale, slither down. From here, let's press ourselves up to tabletop pose, this time on the hands and the knees. So just come to all fours. And from here, we're going to come into child's pose. If you have that pillow handy, I'd invite you to go ahead and grab that pillow. And if you don't have a pillow, it's no big deal. We can do this certainly without a pillow. Okay, but from here, let's widen the knees out towards the sides of our mat. The toes will come to touch. And then we just rest the head or the belly on the pillow. This is child's pose, right? We've done this in the past without the pillow, right? So the pillow is just purely optional. To me, it makes it a little bit more restorative and easeful. And if it feels like this is too much, right? If you have another pillow handy, you can always sort of prop up as many pillows as you have so that this feels really comfortable. Okay? And you can either have your forehead down, or if it feels better on the neck, just turn to have the one ear down or the other. And even here, you might come back to your bumblebee breaths or your buzzing breaths. So we breathe in through the nose. And we buzz it out. Two more. Breathe in. Last one. Inhale. Slowly, in your own time, begin to make your way back up to table top pose. Good. And from here, let's keep our pillow nearby or our blanket nearby if we have it. And once again, grab our chair. So go ahead and grab your chair or have someone help you grab that chair. And we're going to use it for the next two shapes as we kind of cool things down. So you'll want the seat of the chair facing you. And since we're up, now is also another good time to grab a sip of water if you're thirsty. Right, if you have some water handy nearby. Excellent. And from here, we're just going to take a seat facing the seat of the chair. So this can also be done on a couch, right? If you don't have a chair, that's totally fine, right? Cool. But let's bring our butt to the floor, best we can. And then what we're going to do is place the pillow, the blanket, something soft, even if it's like a sweatshirt or a beach towel, over the seat of the chair. Okay? And if it feels okay in your body, I would say let's be cross-legged. So having one ankle in front of the other, facing the seat of the chair. And all we're going to do, right, is first just allow the hands to rest wherever's comfortable. Sit up really tall. So I want you to become aware of your spine and imagine that it could be stretched out even longer. Right, so think like the letter I, like really long. And then all we're going to do is fold forward and kind of like crocodile pose, rest our forehead either on the pillow or on our hands. But there's some sort of support underneath our elbows, right? Or if you have a soft chair. My chair, this is all plastic. So it's nice to have that added support for me here. And this is all we're going to do. Right? Even in near fold, though, if you can, I'd like you to see if you can have a really long spine. So we're not sort of like slumping and rounding forward, because most of us do that a lot already in our everyday life. Let's see if we can keep the spine really long so the muscles of the back are engaged. And then just allow the forehead to rest down. And once again, if it feels good, you might rock the forehead from side to side, just encouraging the eyebrows and the mind and the forehead to soften a little bit. You might feel this a little bit in the hips or like the low back or the inner thighs, right? This can be a hip opener, so a hip stretch a little bit. And your eyes can be open or your eyes can be closed. It's up to you. But I'd invite you to become aware of your breath again, just like we were at the beginning of class. And if you like those belly breaths or those bumblebee breaths, now might be a good time to play around with them again. So if you remember, right, all we do is breathe in through the nose and then buzz it out. Two more. Breathe in. Full breath in. And then moving really slow, really gently. Slowly begin to rise up and out of this. Right, moving at your own pace, and we'll place the hands back behind us. Think of your hands as extra support so that you can lift the heart up towards the sky. Maybe lifting the chin for a gentle supported back bend here. So really squeezing the shoulder blades in and down your back, feeling nice and open through the chest. Full breath in. Full breath out. And then just kind of come back through center. So have more of a natural gaze. And all I want you to do is switch the cross of your ankles. So right now my right ankle is in front. All I want to do is switch so my left ankle is in front. And maybe it's the opposite for you, but just go ahead and switch sides. Usually we have a preference, and we usually start on that preferred side. So now just switching to that side that maybe feels a little bit awkward, a little bit uncomfortable. Hands rest wherever's comfortable. Sit up nice and tall. So again, reaching up beyond the crown of the head, reaching down beyond the tailbone. Keep this long spine, hinge at the hips, and find a fold. Right, so just rest your forehead either on the hands or on the pillow or the seat of the chair. And see if you can keep a long spine instead of rounding, right? So we don't want like that cat back, like that Halloween scaredy cat, but we want like the capital I or the letter L, right? We want something that's a little bit straighter. And you might feel this once again, maybe in the opposite hip or low back, or even through the front of the leg, or even in the belly. And the eyes can be opened or closed. But let's see if we can come back to those bumblebee breaths. So take a full breath in. Two more. Breathe in. Last one. Inhale here. If it feels good, maybe you rock the forehead from side to side one last time, just inviting a sense of ease into the mind, into the face, into the eyebrows, the forehead, the temples. And then moving at your own pace. So take your time, move slow, be gentle. We're going to rise up on out of this. You can keep the gaze really soft, and eventually the hands will come back behind us. And we'll use them as supports once again to squeeze the shoulder blades together and down the spine and lift the heart up. Maybe even lift the gaze up if that feels okay. And you can be on the fingertips, or the palms can be all the way down, whatever feels better to you. One more full breath in. One more full breath out. And as fast as you can, just Kind of come back through center, find more of a neutral stance here. Good. And from here, this should feel familiar. We're going to come to legs up the chair. Okay, so all we're going to do is bring our spine onto the floor and lift our legs up here. So you can either keep this pillow on the seat of your chair. Sometimes it can also be nice to bring it down and place it on the body or maybe even back behind the head. Sometimes this one can be kind of like a little bit, it's not super graceful to get into, but we're not really worried about that, right? So all you got to do is bring the back down and the feet up, right? And it might take a little bit of adjusting. And again, this pillow, sometimes it can be nice to have a little bit of extra like support and cushion on top of you. Or if the pillow's kind of thin, right, and you feel like you want an extra support back behind the head, maybe you do that. But the feet are elevated here, so hopefully this will feel nice on the legs and the feet and the ankles, especially if they're tired. This can be done on a couch, right? It doesn't need to be a chair. And the hands can be beside you, palms up or down. Or again, if you kind of like, if it seems like it might feel comforting to kind of hold yourself or have the hands resting on the chest or the belly or somewhere on your torso, feel free to do that. And your eyes can be opened or your eyes can be closed. But I'd like you to see if you can bring your attention to the parts of your body that are touching another surface. So for most of us, that's probably the back of the head and the shoulders and along the spine, down the hips, and then the feet and probably the back of the legs are touching the chair, right? And just by bringing your attention to those parts of your body that are touching another surface, perhaps they can just sort of melt into that other surface a little bit more. So maybe the body can feel as if it could just relax a teeny tiny bit more. But it doesn't have to work really hard the way we kind of asked our body to do when we were standing and balancing and doing our cobra poses, right? Those require a little bit more engagement of the muscles. And this is really more about relaxing. And if you like watching the breath and doing your bumblebee breath, now is a good time to try it out in this pose, right? It might feel a little bit different with the feet up. So if you'd like to join me, feel free. We'll take an inhale through the nose and then buzz it out. Let's do that a couple more times. So full breath in. Breathe in. Breathe in. Last one, full breath in. And you can continue to find your bumblebee breaths, or you can Just breathe in a way that feels good to you. And I'd like to give you one last choice, so one last option. And the first option would be to stay just where you are. So if you're feeling really good with legs up the chair, if you're feeling really comfortable and relaxed here, I'd encourage you to stay. However, if you're feeling maybe ready to move a little bit, or you just like to try maybe one last thing, let's go ahead and just gently hug the knees in towards the chest. So moving at your own pace, right? Hugging one knee in and then the other, and you might kind of have to scoot away from your chair a little bit. But just hugging the knees in and maybe rocking from side to side, just really gently and really slowly, right? Full of love and care for the body. And then all I'd have you do, if you decided to move, was to see if you can just slide the legs out long in front of you. So if you can, right, you can just kind of slide them underneath the chair. If you'd prefer to move the chair, maybe your chair has a different sort of like leg situation, you can just sit on up, move the chair, and lay back down. This is our corpse pose. You might have heard it in other yoga classes. It's called Shavasana, right? That translates to corpse pose or final resting pose. But basically all it is laying down. And so for most of us, right, our upper body stayed the same, the head and the shoulders and the spine against the floor. And all that really changed was that the legs moved, right? So the knees are no longer bent and the back of the legs are touching the floor. And once again, we have those same options, right? You can sort of hug yourself with the hands crossing the body, or maybe just have the hands resting on top of your body. Or if you prefer, right, hands can be alongside you or out wide, kind of like a starfish pose. And your eyes can be open or your eyes can be closed. But one last time here in this shape together, let's see if we can explore our buzzing breath. So let's do 3 rounds of breath, right? Breathing in through the nose and then making that bumblebee sound out. Okay, so if you'd like to join me, let's go ahead. Take a full breath in. Breathe in. Last one. Breathe in. And from here, let's bring a little bit of movement into the fingers and into the toes. So just slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And maybe you make those soft fists and make circles with the wrists and the ankles like we did earlier in class, just inviting in a little bit of gentle movement. And then maybe we'll reach the arms high overhead and call and find what I like to call a good morning stretch. So imagine that you're just waking up and you're stretching and getting really, really long. And from here, being really careful if you still have that chair near you, but let's just hug the knees in. Hug the knees in towards the body. And then all we'll do is roll onto one side. So this is our seedling posture. So imagine that you're just a little seed under the soil, waiting for spring, all the sun and the rain and the nutrients to allow you to begin to peek your way up out of the soil. So as you feel ready, you can become that seedling that begins to grow into a plant or a flower, and just take a seat. And since we have our chair here, let's just finish in our chair, right? Or if you prefer to stay on the ground, that works too, but it might just be nice to end the way that we kind of started here. So I'm just going to turn my chair so that I can face you. But if you like to be on the ground or on some other surface, that works too. One more time, let's bring the hands down by our hips and just do a couple shoulder rolls, moving in all directions. So forward and backward. Yeah, beautiful. And then release the hands down. And let's drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. And you might just feel this on the left side of the neck a little bit. And you can keep the chin as it is, or you can rotate the chin down towards the shoulder and then lift it up towards the ceiling to just add a little bit of stretch on the neck. If you prefer stillness, that works too. But let's just find this on the other side. So left ear down towards the left shoulder. And you can either be still or turn the chin down towards the shoulder and then turn the chin up towards the sky. Yeah, just kind of stretching out the right side of the neck. Really beautiful. Let's come back through center and finish our class together. So let's place one hand on the heart and the other hand on top of it. Good. Sit up nice and tall, nice open heart. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. And see if you can really feel the rise and the fall, maybe even the heartbeat or the pulse as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And take a moment to give gratitude for your body and all that it does for you. So give thanks to your body and acknowledge all of your efforts, all your hard work that it takes to be here. Thank you so, so much, everybody.